we're going to be talking about financial empowerment. We're going to be having some slide, then I can walk us through. On a normal presentation, this presentation takes like an hour, but the pastor has given me just 20 minutes, and we're going to manage that time. Once the presentation is done, my number will be there. You can give me a call. We can schedule a one-on-one for you to ask all your questions, and we can walk you through all the different plans that we have. Amen. So this is a financial illiteracy workshop. Next slide. Introduction. According to surveys conducted by research and government agencies across North America, do you know that 79% of America feel financial stress? More than 70% live from paycheck to paycheck. We saw what happened during the storm. So people could not even afford to go to the hotel when there was no power. The average amount of debt Americans leave behind when they die is over $100,000. That's the debt they leave. Who is going to pay the debt? Is it their children? 62% of America carry credit card debts. 37% already maxed out their credit card. Sometimes when we have our credit card, it's very sweet to use. You just be swiping. You don't know what damage you are doing to yourself. About 43.4 million Americans have federal student loan. I've graduated more than 10 years now. I'm still paying my student debt. And somehow we find ourselves in that group, even our children. Over half of the American household cannot afford $400 emergency expenses. We live for paycheck to paycheck. If something happens, do we have something in our savings? Do we have something that we can fall back to? Nearly 30% of America have zero saved retirement, and 33% have less than $50,000. Do we have a plan for retirement? Especially in our black community. Do we really plan to retire the way we desire? 72% of Americans are unsure of their retirement. The average monthly Social Security benefit for retired workers in 2023 is about $1,800. Next slide. Today, I'm going to be introducing to you our company, which is World Financial Group. Next slide. Who is World Financial Group? World Financial Group provides financial education and services via life insurance, retirement strategies, and variety of wealth building strategies while protecting their loved ones and planning their financial legacy. World Financial Group offers access to diverse portfolio of insurance, retirement, savings, wealth building strategies. Our financial service company team of licensed independent agents across North America help guide individuals from where they are to where they want to be. Next slide. What's our mission? Our mission is to help 1 million families to achieve financial independence through financial illiteracy by the year 2035. Our objectives. 1 is to ensure that families have solid financial foundation, proper protection. If something happens to you, what becomes of your family? What becomes of your children? Families know how to protect their income. People know how and what to do to retire comfortably, taking advantage of the most recommended financial portfolios. Do we know we have some portfolios that we can use to retire in a comfortable way? It's tax-free. A lot of us, we rely on 401k to retire. 401k is not a reliable source for you to retire. Because if the market crashes, what happens to your 401k? It crashes. So what if the year you are going to retire and the market crashes? What happens? 4, we want to ensure that people become aware of the various tax treatments and implications. We see the wealthy. A lot of them don't pay tax. A lot of them don't pay tax. Why not look at the option where you can avoid paying a lot of taxes? Even when you have to take your own 401k, your own money that you contributed, you still have to pay tax on it. But there's an account that you can roll your 401k and it's tax-free. We want to ensure that people understand basic financial concepts. They understand wealth protection and preservation strategies. Business owners know how to reduce taxes and transfer wealth to the next generation. These are some of the companies that we partner with to roll our 401k, life insurance, long-term care, college plans, especially for our children, index universal life, fixed index annuity, executive bonus plans. These are some of the plans that we partner with these companies. A lot of these companies, we know them. They've been in existence for over 100 years. Trans-America, Pacific Life, and Prudential. So we partner with them. Next slide. Now we're going to be talking about life insurance. Today, because of our time, we're going to concentrate more on life insurance and retirement benefits. A lot of times when things happen, especially in the Christian fold, everybody falls back to the church. We expect the church to carry out all the expenses, funeral expenses and all that. The church can only do so much. So as Christians, we have to plan for our lives. We're not going to live forever. One day, everybody will go. No matter how long you live, one day we will live. So what is your plan when you live? How much life insurance do you need? When it comes to the best type of insurance for an individual, there is no one size fits all. How much and what type of coverage is needed is based on individual and their age, their health, their income, current financial situation, and number of dependents that they have. For instance, my insurance I have, my premium I'm paying, somebody else can pay the same amount with me and get $1 million policy. Why? Because of my age, I'm 51, I'm taking medication. Of course, those are going to be criteria. So, somebody that is in his early 30s might get a $1 million policy and be paying the same premium with me, and I might get less policy coverage because of my age, because of health, and all that. So that's some of the things that we consider when we do our life insurance. We have a lot of life insurance that says, oh, no medical history, no pre-existing, nothing, just come and we'll give you a policy. When I joined this company, I found out that there was this life insurance policy I had. And I went back. You know, a lot of times we just sign and just, that policy said, oh, you don't need medical, no medical, nothing, just, pay your monthly. And I went back and I realized that that policy will expire in 10 years. So what is that saying? It's saying that if you don't die within the next 10 years, then you have to come back to renew your policy. So all the money that I'll be paying every month, that one is their own pocket. So we have to look at these policies before we sign up for any. Next slide. Types of life insurance. We have various types. It is important to know and to understand the different types of life insurance and benefit before buying any policy. What financial group will work with you to get the policy you desire, no matter the health condition? You know some insurance companies, if they know, oh, you have a terminal, whatever, and chronic, they will tell you, oh, we can cover you. But with what financial group, we have a lot of companies that we can partner with and to give you the good insurance you desire. Next slide. Life insurance with living benefits. That is the main thing now. The new modern insurance, it has living benefits. You know, the traditional one, when the person dies, then the family will be the beneficiary. Now, the new modern life insurance, it comes with living benefits. What does that mean? While you are still alive, you can still enjoy what you are contributing to your life insurance. If something happens, we don't pray for that. If you fall sick and you are not able to work, what happens? Short term, your company can pay you for 2-3 months. Long term, maybe a year. Then what happens? If you have this life insurance in place and has living benefits, you can get money out of your contribution that you have been doing. So you don't have to wait until you die for people to enjoy what you have suffered for. It's good to plan for our family, for our children, but at least when you are alive, enjoy what you have worked for. Next slide. This is Mr. Scott. I covered his last name. So he understood the benefits of having life insurance, not just life insurance with benefits. Mr. Scott had cardiac arrest last year, April 2023. And what did the company do? Transamerica. This is the check they paid to him. He's one of our clients. This is the check they paid to him. Over $350,000. Because he had life insurance with living benefits in place. Next slide. Now we want to talk about retirement plan. Do I need a retirement plan? Retirement should be a time to enjoy the fruits of your hard work. A robust savings account that help you maintain your lifestyle without making significant cutbacks or relying solely on family or government assistance. On top of that, having savings gives you more control over retirement years. You can choose how and where you want to live and care you will receive without being overly dependent on others. I'm a nurse. Sometimes I do contracts with some agencies. There was one time they sent me to a retirement home. And when I got to that place, in fact, when I got to the building, I had to call the agency. I'm like, am I in the right place? Because the place looked so beautiful, like an hotel. I entered, I clocked in, and they gave me reports. And when I was getting the report, I was looking at everybody in that facility. All of them were white. There was no single black in that facility. And I was wondering, I said, how do these people pay for this? A month in that place is, the lowest is $5,000 every month. And you need, in fact, when I got there, I was carried away. I was snapping picture. I was calling my husband. I said, you need to see where I'm working tonight. It was so beautiful. The rooms, the food that they give to them is because they have planned for their retirement. At least they know they're going to go soon. Why not enjoy your life before you leave? Next slide. When to save for retirement. The best time to start saving for retirement is right now. The sooner you start saving, the more time your money has to grow through compound interest. Do you know when we save our monies, savings account, do you know what they give to you? It's just simple interest. But when you have credit card, it's compound interest they give to you. You pay more. But when you put your money there, they don't give you more. That's why it's important to prioritize savings for retirement within your budget. Remind yourself that even small contributions can add up over time. Whether you are in early 20s or late 50s, it's never too late to start planning for retirement. Next slide. I know some of us have some of these accounts. We have savings, checking, individual retirement, and all that. Do we really understand how these accounts work? Especially with the 401k. We can roll your 401k into an account that will help you retire with no fear. Let's go to the next slide. How does money grow? The first one is fixed. Of course, you don't need anybody to explain that to you. It's fixed, it doesn't grow. And examples of those accounts, savings accounts, bank CDs, mutual funds. Then variables. Under variable, you see the 401k there. What does variable mean? It's not stable. It's not reliable. Today the market might be up, tomorrow is down. If the market is losing, you are losing. How many times have we gone back to check our 401k and see how our money is growing? So variable, you see the 401k under variable. Stock, cryptocurrency. They are not reliable. Index. Under index, we have the IUL, FIA, and executive plans. This is an account that you can save your money, and even when the market crashes, it doesn't affect you. You don't share the loss with them. Whatever profit you've made is already locked in. So we can show you different accounts to save your money. Next slide. Understanding our tax. We know a lot of us, we pay tax. When it's tax return, we see sometimes some of us have to even pay back. And you see the way they are making millions. Sometimes they don't even pay because they understand the tax treatment. We have 3 categories. One, the savings, where it means that any savings from this account must pay tax before that year. The next one is tax later. You pay later, like the 401k. Do you know if you have to take your 401k before the age of 59 and a half, they penalize you. You pay 10%. And after that 10%, you still have to pay 20% to the government for your own money that you contributed. The next one is the tax advantage, where you have life insurance, IRA, college plan, health savings, and all that. That is what a lot of the wealthy people, they do. They have $2 million life coverage of insurance. And when they are going to get that money out, they don't pay any tax. Next slide. We can save for our kids by using the IUI. Next slide. Now, let's understand wealth protection and preservation. You see all these portfolios listed there, checking account, savings. There are only 2, index, annuity, and life insurance. That's the only account that you can avoid probate. Okay, 1 minute more. Next slide. How are you protecting your income? If anything happens, what do you do? Next slide. I have 1 minute more. Call to action. If you don't have any account in place that can protect you when something happens, then we have to sit down and talk about it. So we see what we can do for you. Next slide. Index variable. Next slide. Next slide. We see that even when we say we don't want to have life insurance, a lot of these big companies, they have life insurance. We see a lot of them that we partner with. Next slide. Lack of financial education. We see that it leads to generational poverty. How are we going to transfer our wealth to the next generation? Is this even scriptural? If you go to Proverbs 13, verse 22, it says a good man leaves inheritance for his children. If we eat up everything, we don't save for our children. And when something happens to us, they're going to bear all the debts that we have. Next slide. This is Bob Lee. How many of us use Cash App? This is Bob Lee, the one that created Cash App. $1 billion savings. What happened to him? When he died, they had to raise up GoFundMe for him because he didn't put his money in the right account. It has to go through probate court. Next slide. Next slide. What is most important to you? Do you want to increase cash flow? Do you want to protect your income? We can work with you. Next slide. This is our business. Some of the benefits that you can enjoy with our business. Next slide. If you want to increase your cash, you can also join us and be a licensed insurance agent. Wherever state you are, in Texas, you do your exam and you become licensed. You can sell policy to people and you get commission for that. That's another way to build up cash flow for yourself. Next slide. So these are some of the options. If you want to buy a policy, you want to refer people to us, we can give you 50% of that. The next slide. Knowledge is not power until it is applied. So whatever you have listened to now, if you don't apply it, it's no longer knowledge. If you want to discuss more, you want questions, you want to ask some questions, you can reach out to me. That is my number. Call me, send me a text, and we can schedule a one-on-one meeting for you. It is free. Our consultation is free. You don't have to pay anything. No matter the hours we spend explaining to you, you don't have to pay anything. God bless you.
Put those hands together. Put those hands together for Jesus. Amen. Brethren, you have been enlightened. Don't just hear it. I want you to act on it. Amen. Don't procrastinate and say, well, I still have time. Please act on it as